What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports back again with another one. According to Michael Benson Twitter, Gervonte Davis has vacated his WBA super featherweight title and will be moving up to the lightweight division. The WBA has ranked him number 1 and has moved up Yorkers Gamboa to number 2. So look for that fight to take place maybe at the end of this year or maybe early 2020. They're setting the stage for those two to meet up. So that's a kind of surprise, as everybody was speculating that maybe Gervonte Davis would be fighting Tevin Farmer at 130, as he offered Tevin Farmer $2 million. And according to Lou DiBella and Eddie Hearn, they offered him $5 million to fight Tevin Farmer on his own. And Lou and Floyd Mayweather and Leonard Ellaby was not having it. They didn't want, they were not going to let him fight outside of Showtime in PBC. So that fight's not going to happen. As you know, Leo Santa Cruz did an interview with Fight Hype, and he said he's moving up to 130. And a lot of people speculated that, that's going to be the fight they're going to make. They're going to make Leo Santa Cruz versus Tank Davis. But Leo Santa Cruz obviously got word that Tank Davis was moving up, so he's going to move up to 130 to probably try to get Gervonte Davis's vacated belt. So that's what's going on with that. So that's what I'm hearing, man. I heard that on Michael Benson's Twitter. So again, Tank Davis is moving up to the lightweight division, and that's a lot of competition up there. As Lomachenko is the unified lightweight champion. He's got the WBC belt along with the WBO and WBA belts. He's got the WBA belt. So I think Tank actually will probably be fighting for the regular belt when he fights Yorkers Gamboa. That'll be for the WBA regular belt. As you know, the WBA comes with that crazy situation where they got regular champions and they got super champions, which is absolutely crazy and ridiculous, but that's what it is. And Tank Davis will be setting himself up to become the WBA regular champion against Yorkers Gamboa. Now, once he becomes regular champion, will he then call out Vasily Lomachenko for his WBA title, since he'll be the super champion? That remains to be seen. But Tank Davis is moving up to lightweight division, so there's a lot of competition out there. You got Teofimo Lopez, Richard Comey, Vasily Lomachenko, and now Gervonte Tank Davis. You got a lot of fights you can make for those fighters. Hopefully they can make it. Hopefully these different promoters and different networks will put their egos and stuff in in-house fights aside and make these fights happen, because that'll be a hell of a round robin. What you got, maybe just basically do a de facto lightweight tournament. You got Lomachenko, who's basically already in a tournament. He's gonna fight Teofimo Lopez versus Richard Comey winner. Whoever wins that fight fights the winner of Yorkers Gamboa Tank Davis, and that we find out who he is, the king, at 135 pounds. I doubt it happens like that, but that's just what boxing fans like myself will be hoping to see. So we'll see what transpires in the lightweight division. Again, Tank Davis is moving up to 135 pounds. And for him being the champion at the WBA, I guess the rules state that he automatically gets that #1 ranking position at lightweight based on being a champion at super featherweight. And he sets himself up for a fight with Yorkers Gamboa. That's a fight I was telling you in my other videos that they was going to make. I said right after Tevin Farmer won his fight and Gervonte Davis won his fight, they fought on the same night, that fight was not happening next, that Tank Davis was fighting Yorkers Gamboa next, and that's what it looks like it's going to happen. And I said Tevin Farmer would be fighting Jojo Diaz next, which I think was going to be next. Now, Jojo Diaz got a fight in September. He takes care of business with that fight and becomes unscathed. Look for him to fight Tevin Farmer in November. That's the only fight that they have out there for Tevin Farmer. He was crying and complaining, saying he got on his Twitter account wondering why Jojo Diaz be fighting in September, when he can fight him in November. But Tevin Farmer, you ain't Canelo. You can't pull a Canelo when he made Golovkin not take the Billy Joe Sanders fight and wait to fight him instead, and pulled his weight and was able to make GG adhere to his demands. You don't have that type of clout. You got a belt, man, but you ain't got no name, no power. You got some skills, no doubt, but you're not a crowd-pleasing fighter. So you really don't have a lot of clout pull as far as for audience and ratings, and you got a belt, but there's a lot of champions out there. So for him to try to demand that on JoJo Diaz. JoJo Diaz act like they the 8 side. They saying, look, we're going to fight in September, and you just wait till November. We'll fight you in November. Maybe fight you later on in December, maybe even 2020. We call it shots. We're the draw. More people want to see us fight than want to see you fight. So that's basically what JoJo Diaz and De La Hoya is saying. So they on their schedule. They say, we on our schedule. We ain't on your schedule. You on our schedule, if truth be told. We're not on your schedule, Tevin Farmer. So that's basically what JoJo Diaz and his team is saying. So we'll see what transpires in that situation. And we'll see what happens with Tank Davis in this next fight. I'm speculating that it will be Yorkis Gamboa. And that fight will take place, preferably on the East Coast. But maybe there's a lot of moving parts as far as the PBC goes. Maybe if they try to get that fight in this year, maybe that fight can be on the undercard of Deontay Wilder and King Kong Ortiz, November 23rd. Or maybe it can be on the card of the J. Rock Williams versus Jerry Hurd fight on December 14th on Fox. Maybe they find another date. They got a November 2nd date for Fox Sports 1. I doubt if a fight of that magnitude would be on Fox Sports 1. Fox Sports 1 is like a little lower level of fights, more of a contenders, guys that's on the rise and guys that are trying to get back to where they was before. Those type of fights. They're not top level, A level, top of the list level PBC fighters. They're more like I said, what we had last time on FS1, we had, what was it? I know we had Anthony Durrell. He fought Yildirim, the guy from the European fighter. He fought for his belt. And because Yildirim was a nondescript fighter, and he won that fight. Now he's on the co-main event for Errol Spence versus Sean Porter. But those are the type of fights you'll see on FS1. Fights that are good fights, but not high. Not high level where you got two A-level fighters fighting. Two A-level fighters fighting. You're not gonna see that on FS1. You'll see a little bit lower level fighters fighting on FS1. So I doubt if the November 2nd card on FS1 will be Tank Davis versus Yorkis Gamboa, but it's a lot of moving parts going on with PBC, and they'll be lining that fight up maybe at the end of this year or early 2020. This is JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. I holla.